The Institute of Directors successfully hosted yet another landmark edition, the 2025 Annual London Global Convention, powered by Tristar Group, a truly global forum on corporate governance and sustainability. Shaping the future of responsible leadership and discovering how to stay relevant in an unpredictable world while navigating geopolitical shifts, climate crisis and technological disruptions, redefining tomorrow. From the global business meet at the House of Lords, UK Parliament, to the famed Golden Peacock Awards presentation and the honouring of IOD Distinguished Fellows, this convention truly celebrated excellence, innovation and visionary leadership. Relive the moments, the conversations and the ideas that will shape the global boardroom of the future. Brought to you by the Institute of Directors, building tomorrow's boards. The Institute of Directors, India, convened another landmark edition of the 2025 London Global Convention, staged across iconic London's venues, the Montcalm Mayfair, the UK Parliament's House of Lords, and the University of Westminster. This year's theme, Boards in an Unpredictable World, Navigating Geopolitical Shifts, Climate Crisis and Technological Disruptions, set the tone for a powerful dialogue on future-ready governance. The convention welcomed over 450 delegates across 4 days, bringing together leaders from industry, government, academia, civil society, the Indian diaspora and diverse stakeholder groups, upholding its legacy of attracting a global audience.
We're going to begin this IOD Global Convention with our customary lamp lighting ceremony. As Mahatma Gandhi, the father of nation in India, put it, even a single lamp dispels the deepest darkness.
The proceedings were set in motion by an inspiring online address from the President of IOD, Lieutenant General Surinder Nath.
We have strived to strengthen the very foundations of corporate governance by celebrating innovation, transparency, and ethical stewardship. As we celebrate your success, let us reaffirm our shared mission to build corporate boards that can navigate unpredictability with wisdom, courage, and compassion.
This was followed by an inspiring and gracious address by the distinguished speakers of the inaugural session.
For over 35 years, it has remained steady in its mission to nurture capable, ethical, and most importantly, forward-looking boards through education, mentoring, and dialogue with thought leaders from across the world.
You, as business leaders, you as those who actually influence the shape of global commerce, how boards are made up, how decisions are taken, are pivotal in how we will ensure that the board's decision-making is much more effective globally, given that the absolute speed with which challenges are going to be thrown at us.
There are a lot of questions that, as we stand today, we don't have the answers on, especially as now we swim in the world, in the sea of AI, with every side, every corner that we turn, there is a point of view on its governance and its use, and how different companies, different organizations are tackling it.
In keeping with the theme of the role of boards in an unpredictable world, I would like to talk about boardroom morality as a stabilizer for everyday governance. We must remember that the most valuable asset we protect and cultivate does not get reported on the balance sheet, and that is trust that we build and sustain. The true legacy of our board is written not in board minutes, but in the conscience with which it governs.
I've learnt what a good board looks like, and I also know that it's possible for boards to improve. And in a sense, what I'm suggesting here is that perhaps one of the things that might emerge from your deliberations during this conference is, so what do we actually do to make things better?
We've always been hearing the word VUCA. It is a VUCA word, but the concept, the words associated with the word VUCA have changed. Today, we are talking of vindictiveness. We are talking of viciousness. We are talking about aggressive world. And we are seeing this in the geopolitical scenario.
Building on IOD India's legacy of convening eminent leaders, thinkers, experts and policymakers from government, business and civil society, the convention became a dynamic platform for deep deliberations and meaningful exchange.
A modern firm is a collection of capabilities. It is not defined by capital and labor, and the workers are the means of production.
We are committed to scaling innovations for smarter, greener and inclusive housing, engaging communities for the participatory development, and finally creating a resilient city that thrive in complexity.
As a board, we have taken a bold decision that we will give AI-based technology to each and every officer in our company, irrespective of whether he is in R&D field or whether it is in a production or he is only doing some typing work. He should know what is AI. It is the duty of the organization, of the board, to tell where we are, and teaching or training on these type of technologies should be there.
The Gen Z, the youth, is actually asking for something more. They are worried about the accountability of an organization or a brand to the environment. And that's where the Bisleri story comes in. So we said if we have to address it, we have to look at it from a strategic angle. We have two challenges, two environmental challenges, let me to put it that way. The first is water. Without water, we don't even have a business. And the second is about plastic, the packaging material that we use largely.
Over the last 40 years in developing markets, including the Indian gold market, very substantial, China and so on, we have also learnt quite a lot about how to encourage responsible and sustainable business practice. That phrase, responsible gold, is important because for a long time, and I've been at the World Gold Council well over 2 decades, for a long time we'd say, of course we're talking about responsible gold. The question was, what does that mean and how can you demonstrate that responsibility?
Robert Swan once said, the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. So all of us, we feel that, I'm doing my bit, somebody else will safeguard the planet. So we strongly feel that in itself is the biggest threat. And we all do business responsibly so that the generations which are coming, they should harvest the benefit of that, what we are doing today.
I'll tell something about what are the dimensions on leadership that I want to talk about in those classrooms of the universities. It's very essential for us to understand that there should be a connection between intrinsics and the extrinsic. Intrinsics is your inner being, extrinsics is your outer, the world as a whole.
Both Prime Ministers Modi and Starmer signed the UK-India Free Trade Agreement. It's India's most comprehensive and ambitious trade agreement to date, and it is the most valuable one to the UK since we left the EU. And that agreement didn't happen for nothing. It happened because there is energy, enthusiasm and encouragement on both sides for stronger and more certain trade relations between the UK and India.
So in 2047, we plan to reach the developed India stage where we will be about 35 to 40 trillion US dollars economy. Currently, we are at 17 trillion USD. So with the strong political will, with a supporting demography, and with a mutual interest and mutual respect with countries like UK and association of countries like EU, I only hope the trade volume and the mutual benefit will increase.
Now, the new comprehensive economic and trade agreement between the UK and India represents something really quite remarkable in modern trade policy. Rather than treating AI as an afterthought, the CETA dedicates significant attention to AI governance, establishing what I believe is a model for future international cooperation on what I think all of us regard as a transformative technology.
The current administration under Prime Minister Modi have modernised your higher education system, in particularly under the higher education policy, and the additions to that higher education policy in 2023 have absolutely transformed the ability of foreign bodies, schools, universities in particular, to now operate in India. So we're very much looking forward to be a kind of living bridge between the UK and India.
When you're a CEO today, or when you're a board member today, you're facing a very uncertain and complex environment. I'm an economist. Economists know how to measure economic policy uncertainty. There is an index which is called Global Economic Policy Uncertainty Index. This index is published every month since 1997. We've never been as uncertain as the world as today. And much of that is because of trade wars, conflicts, geopolitical fragmentation.
The climate change that we're experiencing, the biosphere integrity, the biogeochemical issues that farming and nutrients and things put into the soil. This is not a slide saying this is a problem. This is very serious, because these are planetary boundaries that once they've crossed, they are very connected and it's very hard to recover again. So we need to take notice of the scientists. We need to stop thinking that this is a long-term problem and that this is actually a short-term impending issue that we need to take action on now.
And we've heard already today about the importance of transparency and accountability. It also supports engagement between investors and investees, to ensure that they have shared objectives and a shared understanding. Perhaps developments are moving even more quickly in the current environment.
So disruptions happens every day. We have to live with it. We have to evolve. As a fighter, we have to find new ways. Every board has to find how much AI. First of all, don't rush in. Just evaluate how much your business will be affected.
Participating and keeping within time. So we have some good opportunities for discussion, some opportunities for, in a few moments, we want to quick fire questions, emphasis on the quick fire. Just a moment. I saw the gentleman there, I promise you, when we go to questions. But before we do that, just a little bit, if we can tease out some more, what you're all seeing in terms of some of the practical things that colleagues, when they go back to India, can take back into their boards or recommend to their boards that they should be adopting to try and improve this board as the learning organisation. So,
the thoughtful deliberations were followed by the highly anticipated Golden Peacock Award ceremony, where the leading voices of the industry came together to recognize the achievements of their peers in the field of corporate governance, sustainability, ESG and risk management.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is India's moment, India's decade, and indeed we call it India's century. To collaborate with India today is to seize an extraordinary opportunity. It is truly now or never. There is one golden rule for building a secure and sustainable future. So win a golden peacock.
A landmark moment in the convention was the address by the chief guest, Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu, who articulated a compelling vision for India's economic future.
I am very happy to be here. IOD
is an extraordinary organization, I can say. For the last 35 years you are acting, and also you are promoting ethical governance in corporate sector. That is need of the hour. India started economic reforms in 1991. That is a major turning point for India. Mid-90s, after internet revolution innovated by Bill Gates, I thought that is the always technology is very important to bring transparency, accountability, or future prospects. I strongly believe challenges are abundant. Leaders, if you can go with clarity and also overall good of the global community, we can do wonders. There I am very happy. One is governments. We are also going with public policies. If you create a good public policy, then automatically long-term tremendous impact will be there on society. Even corporate governance. Good corporate governance is futuristic business for you. Trust is important. Credibility is important. Thereby, it will create brand.
Shri Chandrababu Naidu graciously bestowed the IOD Distinguished Fellowship 2025 upon 3 eminent leaders for their outstanding contributions in their respective fields.
I'm deeply honored and truly overwhelmed by this award that has been bestowed upon me. And I thank the organizers and sincerely grateful for this recognition.
The IOD has always stood for the highest standards of leadership, governance, and purposeful enterprise. To be counted amongst your distinguished fellows is both gratifying and deeply inspiring. It is especially humbling to join a list of awardees that begins with Dr. Abdul Kalam and includes so many stalwarts and captains of business and public life, most of whom I have always admired.
You are completely inspiring. It is this view, it is this energy, it is this commitment, it is a responsible view of the future that we need to make the future a better place and provide the home to our students. So I hugely commend and congratulate the IOD India on your 35th anniversary. It's fantastic you've got 30,000 members, and I wish you all strength and all good energy to make the world a better place as you're doing.
This was followed by felicitation of IOD Global Driving Excellence Award for Leadership. Special felicitation for ESG and EHS Excellence was also accorded to Audhatam Pharmaceutical Group, India.
I think that this is the opportunity for me to not just thank everybody here and IOD, which has always been very, very encouraging in every way. I think not just from a point of view of governance, which is critical, but also to recognize Indian companies that truly have pioneered with boards that have been exceptional.
The convention also became the ceremonial stage for the prestigious Golden Peacock Awards, celebrating exemplary organizations for their leadership in corporate governance, sustainability, ESG, and risk management. The second day of the convention unfolded with continued deliberations and featured compelling case study presentations by award-winning companies, sharing the intricacies of their success in sustainability, risk management, corporate governance, and ESG.
So first I'd like to tell about IRCTC. I represent the Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation. If I talk about climate events or geopolitical instability, how we have to survive, like we had the Operation Sindoor, and many of we almost evacuated around more than 1,000 tourists. At that time, one is to put a face behind and do not look, and second thing is to reach out to them.
Before the Industrial Revolution, that is, say, for 6 billion years, that is the estimated age of our planet, the only abode we live upon, there was carbon concentration of 280 parts per million. We are not going in the right direction.
We meet at a time when risk itself is being reinvented. Climate shocks, cyber disruptions, supply chain fragilities, and geopolitical shifts are converging. Boards today are not merely custodians of governance, they are architects of transformation. So innovation now is no longer something you do on the periphery of the business. It is the business.
The book I published called Succession, Are You Ready? Is quite different than your book.
Yes.
So this book is about letting go. And as a board member, it can be hard for them to let go. And they all say, oh, I'm going to leave in 4 or 5 years until the time is about ready. And the one thing I try to do is, the first thing I tell anyone I coach as a CEO is, if I tell you to leave, leave.
Celebrating 35 years of this great institute of directors has been such a treat to see. You've all, as directors, been leading, I think, a transformation of governance.
Day 3 saw the convention move to the iconic House of Lords in the UK Parliament for the Global Luncheon Business Meet. An exclusive forum where senior India-UK stakeholders convene for strategic discussions on pressing bilateral economic issues.
Our job is to scrutinise international treaties, and we are in week 4, next week, of the Indian-UK trade deal, where we're taking evidence from all sectors of industry, evidence from both sides of the parties, Indians and British alike, from politicians from both sides, ministers from both sides, to see the value of this trade deal.
Coming up to House of Lords and speaking is because I've been following a lot of visionaries like your people, and I wanted to build myself into some way or the other. And Institute of Directors, I think, has given that opportunity way back.
We are about 1,500 employees of LTIMindtree in UK. Across Europe, we are about 5,000. Globally, we are about 90,000. And most importantly, I think, as Mr. Tayeb spoke about AI, so we're pretty much focusing on everything to do with AI in the business agenda. And the new workforce that's going to join into the worker community are going to be the AI generation.
Do you know the story of AstraZeneca and Serum Institute collaboration? Is one of the most wonderful examples of how a UK-based technology, which was small at scale in Oxford. Oxford on its page says that they never manufactured more than a few thousand vaccines, while Serum Institute by the second year had produced 2 billion vaccines, not only vaccinating entire India, but billion population, but from Ghana to the Caribbeans, this was going. And the price factor.
Machines can think, and I mean it. They can think. Willow, what is Willow? It's a computer and it's a code that Google created that solved a mathematical problem in less than 5 minutes. The artificial intelligence is here, it's exciting, but the key challenge for all of us, and that's where the role of governance comes to play, is while AI is efficient, is it ethical?
The reason we have got together as well, one is both families are very close to each other. That was a big factor for us. Second is to bring in British etiquettes, Swiss precision, and Indian hospitality all together. People are doing the trade deals between Indo-UK. We have done a trade deal of hospitality between Britain, Switzerland, and India. And that's one of the mission for us to come to India and bring Bharat to India as well.
I'm representing a very interesting industry. It's the hospitality industry, and I work for one of the best brands called the Taj Indian Hotels Company Limited. I call it one of the best hotel brands in the world because they train and invest in us leaders, to make sure we make immense amount of profitability, and that profitability, a big chunk of that profitability goes into philanthropy. There are many SMEs, there are 200 plus Indian entrepreneurs, and I'm talking of people who are sub 100 million, who are operating in Britain. They are Indians, they employ locals, they're a big part of UK economy. So I think what the FTA will do is to take it to a very, very different level. And it is not just trade and services, investments will follow.
We, like all the industries, people here, to collaborate with our university so that our curriculum is based according to the needs of what the industry needs. So students are coming up with a lot of ideas apart from their classrooms, not what the curriculum teaches them. So I like the companies to join along with us and join and see that we could flourish new methods of teaching for them, a new array of ideas where they start their own business.
For the past 9 decades, BME has played a very, very vital role in shaping India's non-ferrous metal sector, serving a bridge between trade and industry, government promoting ethical practices and fostering sustainable growth. So, with the India-UK FTA happening, looking ahead for India-UK FTA opens an exciting opportunities for the collaboration.
We are proud to convey that we have more than 56 chapters across the globe, and we have taken more than 30 trade delegations, and we have received more than 50 trade delegations in the past 3 years.
The convention concluded at the University of Westminster, where delegates assembled for a special session dedicated to positioning innovation and sustainability at the heart of boardroom priority. With another successful edition concluded, anticipation rises for next year's gathering and the vital conversations that will continue shaping boardroom priorities in an ever-evolving world. Brought to you by the Institute of Directors, building tomorrow's boards.